Hey, Tubies, this is Bob Hickman. It is so rocking to be here with you. Well, here we are. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for messages from the spirit world. And you guys have been wonderful. I want to say thank you, first of all, to all of you who came out to yesterday's video on the blue-skinned aliens. It was pretty awesome, wasn't it? I tell you, I'm still investigating all this, and I'm just intrigued by it. Maybe I'll go to India. I'm thinking about taking a trip to India. What do you think? Should I go there and check it out myself? Maybe we will. Anyways, here we are Tuesday, and you know it's time for messages from the spirit world. For those of you who are new here, by the way, thank you to all the new subs. You guys rock. I love you. Thanks for being part of our channel. And thank you to all the old-time subs, too. You guys rock also. So together, we're a big team here. I want to say thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Be part of Spirit Channel. But anyways, we're going to get into the letters today. And before we do that, I thought we'd take just a moment and attune to the spirit world. Okay, I hear my spirit guide Fletcher back here. He sends his greetings and blessings to all of you. All right, our first letter today is from Stardusty 7. And Stardusty writes and says, Dear Bob, do you think we will ever know any info? Do you think we'll ever know any info about the info stored at the Vatican Library? And what do you think they have there? That's a good question. Well, I got to tell you, I do think that there's a lot of deep mysteries in the Vatican Library. And I'll tell you, one of them is going to soon be released. That's right. One of the things that I do believe is in the Vatican Library is I do believe that the Vatican has an entire study and a history of interaction with alien beings. And I do believe in the next, it'll be within probably 2 years, maybe 3 at the far side, there's going to come out full-scale disclosure about the aliens. And I believe that the Vatican is going to play a major role in releasing this information. I see the Vatican really opening up the vaults and saying, not only are there aliens, we can prove that they go back to the beginning of life on Earth. And they're going to be the ones to help usher in the full-scale disclosure. Now, everybody's saying, well, why the Vatican? Why wouldn't the White House or the Russian government or somebody do it? Well, they're all going to do it. But by using the Vatican has such clout because they have such a long-standing history. When they can pull out records from, 18 or from 1200 or, 1100 or way back, that's going to give more credibility, more credence. And the Vatican's going to be kind of what I call damage control. And by being able to reveal this information, they're going to show that the aliens pose no threat and that they've been part of the interaction. And they've had to keep it secret until the time was right. So that is, that is one of the secrets that I feel is stored in the Vatican Library. Now, I also believe that in the Vatican Library, they have a lot more information about ancient Atlantis and also the Egyptian culture. I think they know a lot about Egyptian magic, how they worked with levitation, and how they transformed gold into a pure substance. It's believed that the ancient Egyptians had a white powder that was actually gold refined to such a pure level that it was pure white powder. And this way, heavy gold can be broken down, transported, then reassimilated. I believe the Vatican is all about that as well. Look at the amount of gold in the Vatican. Anyways, but yeah, how much we're going to get revealed out of the Vatican Library, I think it's going to be minimal because I think they're still guarding stuff. But I do think that one of the secrets will be the aliens. So we'll be watching for that. That's a good question, though. I hope that helps a little bit. Thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is from Jenna C. And Jenna, she says, Hi, Psychic Bob. I was wondering if you could tell me whether I've had a past life connected to New Orleans, I want to take a trip there, and I don't know if I'm just really excited or if there is a deeper meaning behind it. Hi, Jenna. Well, first of all, let me say you have had a past life in New Orleans. Actually, you've had two former lives. And it's interesting, you've run both ends of the spectrum. One of them, you were a slave in the 1700s. You were a slave and you got involved with voodoo and you learned magic and you knew, Marie Laveau. You were a very powerful voodoo worker. Late 1700s, early 1800s. You also had another life there in the late 1800s where you're a very wealthy member of a merchant family, did shipping and merchant. And in that life, you were married and you had a wonderful life. You had a very wealthy life, very pleasant life. And so on your soul, you associate New Orleans with that joy, that happiness. That's why you're excited to go there. But also deep inside of you, you know that you knew voodoo. You tapped into that mystic power. And you know that when you go there, that will revive a lot of your ancient knowledge. So I want you, I do think you should go there. I think it'll be a fun trip. And I do feel like you're going to tap in to all that mystic energy there and just go and enjoy it, I mean, every life is good and bad. We have good and bad, and not all of the trips. Some of the trip may bring back memories that are sad too, because you also, in those days, a lot of people died young. So you did have a lot of your family members die, and you may actually, I get a sense of you connecting to spirits while you're there. So you may be literally passing through a graveyard or in a home that you knew people at. And I want you to pay attention to the senses. Really think, you may have some deja vu experiences, and that will really be a confirmation because you'll think, wow, I know I've never been here, and yeah, I know it, or it seems familiar. So, yeah, you've been there, and I think going there will be a positive time. Many times when we connect back to our past lives, it is actually very balancing for us emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, because it allows us to kind of see things from a different perspective outside of that life and balance it and release the negative stuff too. So it's very therapeutic. I think you should go. Okay. Have a wonderful trip. All right. Send me a postcard. All right. Our next letter is from Sabri Whatever. That's a cool name. Hi, Sabri. She says, Dear Bob, thank you for sharing your gift with us. You're an amazing soul, and your channel is my favorite. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, darling. Well, I'm glad you're here. And you write, does the spirit world have any advice on my moving plans? And who are my spirit guides? Lots of blessings and hugs. Love you. Hi, Sabri. In terms of moving, it's interesting. I'm going to tell you, I see a move around you coming pretty soon, but I'm going to say don't get too settled, because I feel like by the end of next year, by the end of 2017, there's going to be a second move. And I get a long distance move, like moving across the country for you. And I don't know if that's right now, but I think that's the second move. But I do feel like this move, what it's doing for you is opening up new beginnings, new opportunities. When I step into your vibration and I go back over the last year and a half here, I kind of feel like you're spinning in circles, like you weren't moving forward. There was kind of a holding pattern around you. And I feel like this move is allowing you to start fresh and move forward. But I'll tell you, once you make that move, other things start to open up in your life. And I feel, again, there's going to be a transition here again. So there's going to actually be two moves. But don't worry about it. It's all a blessing. I see more money around you, and I see greater emotional freedom and happiness. And I feel there's more love coming into your life as a result of these moves. Okay. So now in regards to your spirit guides, you do have a number of guides around you. I get two right now. One is a lady. The name around her is Mary. I hear the name Mary. It's interesting. This Mary was a nurse during World War I. And I feel like she's a protector and a guide for you. And it's like she's pushing you to do something with education. There may be some more schooling coming for you, or some education. I do believe you also have a healer theme somewhere on your chart for this lifetime. So you may find yourself studying medicine or even alternative healings like Reiki, but you have some healing gifts around you, and that's what Mary's doing with you. I also pick up another man. His name is Rufus. And he's funny because he's like an old sailor guy, and he's kind of ornery. He's like, I'm Rufus, and he's like one of these people who just doesn't take anything from off anybody. He's kind of a guardian also, and he's kind of encouraging you, just like, don't let anybody push you, you do your thing. And Rufus is like, I'm back here, I'm guarding her, and nobody gonna get in her way or tell her what it's about. So let Rufus and Mary guide you, okay? They're gonna help you. Thanks for writing. Hope that helps. Blessings. All right, our next letter is from Melissa Dinkello, and she writes, Dear Bob, can you tell me anything about my spirit guides? Blessings to you. Hello, Melissa Dinkello. Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel's around you. When he comes in with a flash of blue light, and I'm getting a lot of blue in your aura, which means that you're channeling angels right now. Particularly Gabriel, because he keeps showing me that you have a communicator theme on your chart, and they want you to step into a fuller role of expression, self-expression, expressing yourself. I get writing here around you, and I feel like you need to be journaling, and I also see like poetry or song lyrics, so I feel that you have a gift for expression in artistic ways as well. So I want you to invoke Archangel Gabriel, as one of your spirit people, okay? But he's helping you, okay? I also see around you another lady here. There's a lady in spirit, and I keep getting the name Clarissa around you. And she's dressed in 1920s clothes, and she's dancing like, they used to flapper girl dance. Well, she's dressed in a beaded gown, she's dancing. And I think that's a sign that she's coming in as a joy guide. She's coming in to help you literally celebrate being alive. And I also feel there's an artistic element coming in around her as well. So you definitely have a lot of inspiration going on and a lot of creativity. And you might literally want to just start exploring like the 1920s or the clothing. I feel like there's something there that kicks in for you to help with artistic expression. Okay, so you've got Clarissa and you've got Archangel Gabriel working with you. Okay, blessings. Thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is from Chris Damask. And Chris writes and says, Dear Bobs, what are your thoughts on technological singularity? Ooh, Chris, that's a good subject. That might actually evolve into a whole nother video, but just in the short term, let me just tell you now, for those of you who don't know what that is, technological singularity is the idea that computers or artificial intelligence, they can operate it as a form of artificial intelligence and then do self-correction and evolve to where they actually gain more knowledge. And it's believed in the theory of singular technological singularity, I can't speak today, that they can eventually evolve beyond the knowledge and mind of their own creator, and that some people say that left unchecked, these artificial intelligence beings, robots, computers, whatever, could evolve into a master kind of race on their own that could even take over humanity. That's the negative side. On the positive side, technological singularity leads to new discoveries and abilities that surpass the human mind's ability to conceptualize. In regards to that, my personal belief is I don't feel that it is absolutely going to be a reality in the total sense of the word. I do believe that artificial intelligence will, on some level, be able to gain knowledge or self-correct and improve. So it's kind of an evolution. But the thing that I feel is missing in that theory is the concept of the soul. See, our spirit gives so much power. We have the mind, but even the mind in a human is limited. But the soul mind is unlimited. So this is what makes human beings unique creatures, because we have a mental ability, but we have a spiritual ability. And I don't believe that computers necessarily possess a soul or a spiritual reality. and therefore they're limited in the ultimate expression because they are only operating on a mental plane, not a spiritual plane. So my belief on that. Anyways, interesting. I think we'll do a whole video on that. That's a good question, Chris. Thanks for writing. All right. Our next letter is from Francis Watson. And Francis writes and says, Dear Bob, my son just can't seem to catch a break. Just when things look up, it all falls apart for him. He thinks it's past life related. Could this be true? Do you see things improving around him? I truly appreciate any insight you can provide. Blessings. Hi, Francis. You know, Francis is a longtime viewer here. Well, hon, let me tell you, first of all, I'm sorry about your son's struggle. Now, good news is I do see improvement for him. I get around him some blocks here. I get 2 levels of block. One is in an emotional area. I feel that he's struggling right now, particularly in relationships. And a second area of struggle I get is in finances around him. So I am seeing some challenges there, but I want him to watch and you to watch, because as we get to July, I feel that there's some doors opening around him. I do feel there's going to be a job opportunity that presents itself. So I do see financial improvement around July for him. The thing is, he has a very strong creative spirit, and I don't think a normal 9-to-5 job is where it's at for him. I think he needs to think of more freelance work where he has a more flexible schedule and is allowed greater creativity. This is where I see success for him. You know, in regards to the past life issue, I do feel there is some past life karma here. Now, let me tell you about past life stuff. When you have a real big negative streak, sometimes it is past life, sometimes it's not. So we can't always look at everybody and say, oh, it's all karma. But in your son's case, actually, it is karma. And let me tell you about one of his past lives where this came from. He did have a former life. It was actually in the 1920s. He was actually very successful. He's a wealthy businessman. When the Great Depression came, he did lose a lot of money, but he still had money stored away that people didn't know about. And unfortunately, he did not use his wealth to help others. He hoarded money and he treated people badly. So this life, this is where he's had a lot of blocks, because his lack of generosity, his love for others in his last life has blocked him experiencing joy in this life. This has also created the block in the emotional area in relating to people and having relationships with others. Now, the good news is that by hearing his past life, it helps his soul to release it. See, the lessons of karma are only given to us until we awaken, and then we can release it. So this is why I'm not fatalistic. I don't believe that karmic debt, binds us forever. It's only given until we awaken. So I feel he's at a turning point. I do see July as a chance for him to really be back on track and find joy and success. Okay, so he's going to get back on track, and that's going to be the time in the beginning. You might want to share with him this video. Let him understand that if he recognizes within himself this past life, if he says, okay, I may not all remember it all, but I'm willing to recognize that I need to release past negativity, past greed, past hostility. And he just says, Lord, I give it to you. Spirit, I give it to you. Then it'll be free. It washes it. So it's a recognition. And I want him to make a goal that when he gets this new work, that he'll make sure to give some money away to charity. Because as he does that, that cements the agreement with Spirit, that he's ready to release that past, and he'll be thankful for his blessing. Okay? So karma's not forever, but it is. He's not wrong. And the interesting thing is that he says, I feel that it's past life, and really it is. See, his soul is saying, I know it, but I don't know where it comes from. So hopefully we've pinpointed it today and it'll make sense for him. Okay. Thank you for writing. I send prayers to both of you. Guys, listen, that's all the time I've got for letters today. I am so glad you're here. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. We got more coming. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and we're going to have something fun, something mystical. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll figure it out. Be back here tomorrow. Anyways, thanks for writing. By the way, how do you like my charm today? Let me show this to you. This is one of my vintage silver Aquarius charms. Isn't that beautiful? See, it's Lord Neptune. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, a little bit of glare. But I'm wearing this to celebrate the success of my horoscopes column. If you don't know, if you're new here, every day I do horoscopes, and they're available over at my website at robert-hickman.com. I'll put the link in the info box below. Make sure to go over there, get your daily horoscope. If you don't know what your horoscope sign is, not to worry. I put up the dates after every sign so you can find your sign. So when you see the sign where your birth date range falls in, that's what you are, okay? So anyways, definitely go over there, check it out. We have all 12 zodiac signs, and I think you'll enjoy it. Well, guys, listen, thanks for being here. Thank you for your letters. Keep them coming. Put letters in the box below. Write me on my website, and we'll get your letters in. Blessings to all of you. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And, of course, next week we'll have another Messages from the Spirit World.